Winning the battle against screen. Winning the battle against screen. Join me again tonight on Parenting with Coach Ayolua. My name is Ayolua Adedeji. I'm the founder and the lead consultant at the Model Family Focus. And trust me that whenever I come up on your screen, all I want to talk about is parenting. I'm sure you know that by now. Thank you for joining me. How are you? How are you doing? All right. So today we are talking about a very, 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 very important topic. This is holiday period. For many of us that are watching me from Nigeria, I hope you know what that means, that the school is currently on holiday. So we have our children at home almost for all the hours in the day. So somehow unconsciously, unprepared, one of the things we battle with, that parents battle with during holiday, is managing screen time. Screen time management. So I'm putting up this session to help you move from constantly fighting over screens to intentionally raising children who can enjoy technology and also not become controlled by technology. You know why? Because technology has come to stay. There's nothing we can do without technology. Of course, you are able to watch me from the comfort of your home. You are able to, listen to me now because of technology, because technology was invented. So the goal is not keeping our children away from technology, because if you are doing that, you are definitely uh, um, shortchanging them. You are definitely not preparing your child for the future to come. And the future is now. So the goal is not to keep our children away from screen. The goal is to prepare our children to be able to control screen so that the screen will not control them. Because again, screen is a good teacher, but a poor master. Who is here with me today? If you're here with me, say I coach, say I coach in the chat box. So this session will help you to intentionally design screen management in your home. You will move from fighting screen. A lot of us keep fighting our children over screen. I mean, I have handled a case of a teenager who, because of phone, ran away from the home. Yes, the child ran away from home just because, the parents were not able to put systems around screen use effectively. So by the end of this session, you will understand why children become attached to screen. If you notice, children of these days, they are just attached to screen compared to when we were growing up. When we were growing up, screen, maybe TV, when we were watching during this episodal film, Papa Jasco. What is this? One thing that we don't miss in our home is network news on NTA news. NTA news. My dad doesn't joke with news, so every night we watch news. Aside that, then screens were not designed to keep you, fixed. Compared to now, that screens have been intentionally designed to keep children watching for hours without getting tired, without getting bored. So you will understand why children become attached to screen, why children are so addicted to screen. You will also learn what excessive screen use does to developing brain. Remember that our children brain, their brains are still developing. So you will understand what excessive exposure to screen, the impact on the developing brain of our children. You will also be able to identify warning signs of unnecessary, unhealthy screen dependence. I won't stop there. You will know, I will equip you to know the realistic um, age appropriate screen limits. I'm going to give you a clue of how many hours do we need to expose our children to screen if need be. Remember I said it that the goal is not to keep our children away from screen. Of course, they need it. They will need it all through their life, except you are not preparing your child for the future that is now. So you will learn practical ways to reduce screen time without constant argument. After this class, you will be able to manage screen time responsibly without argument. Whether you are raising toddler, you are raising preschool children, or school age children, or adolescents, preteen, or teenager, you will learn practical ways to reduce in case screen time has been excessive in your home. You will also learn how to create a family digital contract or family digital master plan, whichever way you want to call it. You will learn how to be able to design one. You will also learn how to build a healthier digital culture. This is me telling you that you are welcome to this class. Who's here with me? Say, Coach, hi. Tell me, Coach, hi. I want to hear you from the comment section. Tell me, Coach, hi. All right. So let's start with this looking into the invisible childhood crisis. How many times have you fought with your child today concerning screen? How many times has your children ran to you, mommy, I need phone, mommy, I'm bored, mommy, I want to watch TV, mommy, give me laptop, mommy, do this. How many arguments have you had over television this week? This is holiday. I met someone. I met a parent. The person's child attend the same school with our children. So and I was asking about our children. She said, the holiday has not even started. I have started shouting, hey, and I was like, you just have one. What about us that we have three? Hmm? But honestly, for me, if we intentionally design our holiday is one of the moments that we can create memorable, events for our families. If we are intentional, if we intentionally design our holiday, this holiday period is a time, as in, is a time that every family should look forward to. If you missed last week's session on parenting with Coach Ayelua, you missed something valuable. I encourage you to watch the replay on my YouTube channel. I talked about a friend. I used to have a friend, and every year she would take her annual leave during this period. That's a very, very intentional parent. She would take her annual leave during this period so that she can have time for the children. They can have bonding, they can have experiences, and all of that. That is intentionality in parenting. That is intentionality in parenting. If you remove all screens, I'm still asking you this question. If you remove all screens for 1 week, what will happen in your home? You take away phone, you take away laptop, you take away iPad, you take away TV. What again? What will happen in your home? I know some of you will be smiling. Some of you will become so uncomfortable because screen has quietly become the third parent. Screen is also parenting your child with you, because screen has quietly become the third parent. We have father, we have mother, then we have the screen. Who is guilty of that? Of course, I'm not one of you. So many children today can operate smartphone and they cannot fix their shoelace. That's the kind of children we are raising now. Many children can navigate YouTube before reading fluently. Give a toddler a phone. The toddler will navigate perfectly, and you'll be wondering, was this child born with phone? That is the kind of children we are raising this era. Some toddlers know how to skip adverts. They know. I've watched children operate phone, and I was like, wow. There was a time I was using a particular phone, and one day our daughter opened this phone. There was a session that she opened. I've used that phone for almost a year. I have never opened that session on my phone. And she navigated my phone, and I was like, is this my phone? You mean this is on my phone? That is the kind of children we are raising this era. Many teenagers, they spend more times with influencer on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, Medium, Threads, and all of that, more than the time they spend with their parents. That is not funny. That is not funny. And that is not because the parents are not responsible. Hmm? It is because the technology has been designed to keep attention. Even as adults, some of us know how we struggle with screen usage. Some of us, we just keep scrolling on social media. You finish from Facebook, you move to what? To YouTube. You finish from YouTube, you move to TikTok. You finish from TikTok, you move to Thread, and you are just scrolling without doing anything meaningful. Anything meaningful. I I had to intentionally, you know, put control on my screen usage. Yes, I work online, but I discovered I just, while trying to check my posts, check how my platforms are faring and all of that, before I know it, I'm spending an hour. I'm spending 2 hours doing what? So I set my screen time, daily screen hour to 30 minutes. After posting, I've done my posting, I've responded to chat and all of that. 30 minutes, whatever thing I need to see, whatever thing I need to watch and all of that, 30 minutes, I am done. I am done. So if we, the adults, if we can struggle with phone usage, how much more do we think it will be easy for our children to navigate the screen world without adequate control? Because technology is designed to keep attention, to keep you glued, to keep you watching, to keep you scrolling. The companies behind social medias, they spent billions. They spent nights, they spent time learning how to make you and I stay longer. In case you do not know, I'm telling you now, they are intentional. Yes, they spent time, they spent time, trying to learn, trying to walk around how to keep you and I, how to keep our children glued to screen. So don't be surprised that your children are just scrolling and you're shouting, hey, drop your phone, hey, do this, do this, do that. And your child is not even listening. Your child is not just like, nah, what is she saying? It is not discipline problem. It is not your child problem, actually. It is because the technology has been designed to keep children stay longer. Adults are struggling. Children have less self-control. And today's battle is not simply against phone. Today's battle, the battle we are facing now, it's not simply against phone. No, it is a battle for attention. Attention. You are trying to seek your child's attention. The screen is trying to seek your child's attention. And there's a conflict. There's a conflict. So the battle we are facing now is not just about phone. It's not just a battle of phone. It's not just a battle of TV. It's a battle of attention, battle of creativity, battle of relationship, battle of purpose, and childhood itself. This is huge. Sometimes I watch parents who carelessly expose their children to screen. There was a time I took my son to clinic, to health center. He was running fever, so I took him for treatment to the health center. And for about 2 hours, we went to lab, to run tests, and we were waiting for the test to come out and all of that. So we were seated at the reception. And for almost 2 hours, there's this one little girl, about 2 years. She was on iPad. She was on iPad. She was so lost. She was so unconscious of what was going on around her. She was just glued to the screen. At some point, I couldn't just take that. When I see children being exposed to screen unnecessarily, it sounds to me, it looks to me as if you are giving a child a gun with bullets. You know what that means? The child can trigger it. Anything can happen. The child can see what is not meant for the child's brain. The child can see what will mess up the child's sanity. So when I see parents give children, especially with internet, my heart bleed. So at a point, I couldn't just control. I had to walk up to the parent. Funny enough, the mother is one of the nurses in the hospital. So I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, is this your child?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Please, ma'am, this child, I feel this child is being exposed unnecessarily to screen. Please, you need to minimize how you expose this child to screen." And honestly, she was so down to earth. She quickly took the pad. I said, "Leave this child, let this child go out, let the child go and run, play. If there is sand, let the child play with sand and all of that." The battle we are fighting, is not just for attention. It is a battle of creativity, for creativity, purpose, relationship, and childhood itself. And the goal, like I said in my introduction, the goal is not to eliminate technology. Of course, you can't even deal without technology. How? As how now? Like our children will say, as how now? You can't do without technology. You just cannot do without technology. So the goal is not to eliminate technology. The goal is to prevent technology from replacing real life, because it is happening firsthand now. Technology is replacing real life. Technology is replacing real life. You see children who cannot relate with adults, who cannot relate with peers. Visitors are around and your children are with phone. They were pressing phone. They were glued to screen. That's part of our family digital master plan. When we get there, before we end the session, I will teach you how to create that, how to create structured screen usage for your family. One of our family digital master plan, one of our rules around screen is that we relate with people. Yes, we value relationship, physical relationship. Visitors shouldn't come here and you are on phone. No, you relate with visitors, relate with people. Relate with people you can see, not people on the screen that you cannot even see, that you don't even know. The goal is not to eliminate technology. The goal is to prevent technology from replacing the real life, because children should use screen and screen should never use children. If you get that, please put it in the chat box. I said that children should use the screen. The screen shouldn't use the children. That is what is happening now. It is the screens that are using our children now. Meanwhile, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And you know what? We can deal with it. Yes, we can deal with it. And that is one of the reasons why, this session is on. That's one of the reasons why I created this platform. For all of us who are intentional, who want to raise well-rounded children, who want to raise balanced children, who want to raise emotionally intelligent children. That's why I created this platform, so that we can come together. We can come together and learn together and grow together. And that's why I keep saying, if you're watching me now, share the link to this session, share it on your WhatsApp status, share it on your Facebook status, share it to parents around you, share it with people who are co-parenting with you, your children teachers, your neighbors, your friends, where your children go to spend weekends or holidays. Let them come here so that all of us can learn together. You know why? The better people are informed, the safer our children become. Yes. The better we know, the better for our children. So don't hide the truth. Do not hide the truth. All right. So let's talk about why screen becomes addictive. Many of our children, many of our children are addicted to screen. I see children in church with phone, with iPad. We even give iPad to our children. You come to church and, maybe we think we are tush now. We are tush people and we want our children to look tush when they're supposed to sit down and learn. They are watching cartoon, they are watching TikTok, they are doing all sorts on screen. We think we are raising two children. Come here. Huh? Come. What you are doing is bad. Stop it. If you are among those who will give your children tablet, iPad, or phone in the church, stop doing that. Yes, I said that. Stop it. It's not okay. So, why screens become addictive? Many parents think their children simply lack discipline. But in the real sense of it, their brains are responding to exactly what the brain has been trained to respond to. It is not actually lack of discipline in the real sense of it. Your child's brain is responding exactly as your child's brain has been designed. That's why I keep saying it. You see, everything you are doing now, you are training your child's brain. You are training your child's brain. So you need to be careful. You need to be careful. I want you to understand something called dopamine. Dopamine. It is a neurotransmitter. What does that mean? Many people call it pleasure chemical. Yes, I've heard people call it pleasure chemical. But more accurately, I call it motivation and reward chemical. Motivation and reward chemical. And what this hormone does, what this chemical, what it does is that whenever something exciting happens, the brain releases dopamine. Maybe winning a game, you are playing a game, you win, a child gets chocolates, a child gets favorite snacks, you know, getting a social media likes, receiving a gift, watching an exciting film or cartoon, something exciting just happened. So the brain does what? The brain releases dopamine. And what does that mean? The brain says, that feels good. Do it again. That's what that pleasure chemical does. It tells you that this thing that happens, it feels good, so you can do it again. I hope you get that. So you can understand why your children stay glued to screen. You can understand why your children will play board game. What is this? Video games for hours and they will not feel tired. It is the function of dopamine. Dopamine. It tells your body that this thing that happens, this thing that you are doing, it feels good. You can do it again. You can do it again. So, and screen produces so much dopamine. It releases so much dopamine. You know why? Because every second something changes. I said that dopamine is released when something exciting happens. And when you are watching screen, especially for children, the cartoon, the games, the films for children, specifically made for children, every few seconds, something changes. New colors, new music, funny sounds, unexpected rewards, another video, another level, you are playing game from one level to another. I remember when I was glued to this, there is this game, Zuma. How many of you know that Zuma? Ah, this game almost gave me carryover when I was in the university. I'm not the type that keep friends. I don't go out from school, from my house to school to church and to my business. I ran a business in school. And anytime I feel bored, I pick my phone and I will play this game. I have it on my phone, I have it on my laptop, and I will play this game. It's Zuma. You'll be eating a ball. There's this is a group of colorful balls. And once you are shooting the balls, you are winning. You are winning. And I will be on this game till 12 a.m., 2 a.m. Sometimes I'll say, let me just relax with this game so that I can read. I will end up playing game all through. And by the time I'm done with that game, I'm tired. I won't be able to read. At the point, I spoke to myself, I said, come, did they send you to school to come and play game, or they sent you to school to come and read? That was how I deleted that. I uninstalled that game on my laptop and on my phone. And anytime I see that game, I will say, this is the game that almost give me carryover. You know why? As you are finishing one level, you are graduating to another level. You are finishing one level, you are graduating to another level. And each level, the higher you go, the more interesting that game, looks like. So when that happens, what the dopamine is released, and you're feeling like, oh, this feels good. Oh, I can do it again. Another level, another notification, another surprise. You get medals, you get coin, you get chocolates, and all of this. And we keep playing. I will keep playing. I will keep playing because the brain loves novelty. If you don't know that, the brain loves novelty, and the screen provides endless novelty. And if there is somewhere you want to see screen, you want to experience novelty, you want your brain to experience novelty, just be in front of screen. You will get as much as you want. But real life doesn't. Sometimes real life sounds boring. Hmm? Real life sounds uninteresting. And that's why when you ask children to stay away from screen, you heard, hey, I'm feeling bored. Hey, I'm this. Hey, everywhere is boring. Because real life hmm, does not provide endless novelty as screen does. So you can compare reading book. When you're reading a book from one page, then another page, and compare it to watching TikTok, what happens? You can watch within 2 minutes, you can watch 10, 15 videos. Something is just changing, something is just popping, something is just happening, your screen is just moving. Bang, 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 bang. You finish watching this, before you even touch your screen, another video has popped up. Before you finish that, another one, you see one picture. Oh, let me see this picture. This person dressed nice, let me see the dress. Before you finish, you just keep scrolling. You just keep scrolling. That's why children chooses to be addicted to screen. Now, the problem, and this is where the problem is, children's brain are still developing. Their brains are still developing. So the part that is responsible for impulse control, self-control, decision making, that's the prefrontal cortex, the section of the brain. I have taught this in one of the sessions. I think when I talked about discipline, I talked about why children behave the way they behave. And I talked about neuroscience. This is neuroscience. It explains how children brains work. So the section of the brain that is responsible for decision making, for self-regulation, self-control, the prefrontal cortex, matures slowly. It fully matures from age 25. Yes. I remember I made a post about this. And I jokingly said in that post that even some of us, some of you that got married around age 22, 23, 24, 25, your brain is still under construction. And a lot of people, we are just commenting that, oh, so this is why children behave the way they behave, because that section of the brain that will help them to take better choices, to make better choices, to be able to self-regulate, to control that session, that part of the brain has not fully developed. So expecting your young children to regulate unlimited access is unrealistic. It is unrealistic. It is not possible because they don't have that skill yet. Yes, they do not have that skill yet. Excuse me. They do not have that skill yet. They don't have the skill. So you expecting your child, oh, since you have been watching screen, don't you know you're supposed to put the screen down? How long do you want to watch screen? You are expecting a child who is still walking around with underdeveloped brain, with brain that is under construction, to be able to control screen usage. It is unrealistic. Trust me, it will never happen. All right. So your children need external boundaries. They need your help. Excuse me. They need your help until they develop internal discipline. Excuse me. They need external boundaries until internal discipline is developed. All right. So that's why I keep saying that children don't need unlimited access. They need guided access. They need guided, excuse me, they need guided access. All right, excuse me. Sorry, I'm having itchy throat. All right, so what does excessive screen time does to the developing brain? Remember, I said it's that a children's brain are still developing. So what does excessive screen time, what does it do to the developing brain? This session is never to scare you. No. Excuse me, maybe I need to take some time to cool down my throat. Please excuse me. Sorry to take your time. I think I need to cool off a bit. Can I move on? I think I can move on now. All right. I'm feeling better. All right. Thank you for staying with me. So, I want to talk about uh, what excessive screen time does to children's developing brain. And I'm not teaching this to scare you, but to educate you. To educate you so that you'll be informed. What excessive screen time does to the developing brain of our children: reduce attention span. Reduce attention span. Fast entertainment trains the brain to expect constant stimulation. Constant stimulation. And that is why when you take screen from children, some children, they become fussy, they become angry, and all of that. And homework feels boring. Reading becomes so difficult. Some children cannot spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes reading, but they can spend hours on screen. It is because that child has been exposed excessively to screen. And waiting becomes painful. Children cannot even wait. They are just in a hurry. They just want things to happen fast, fast, quick, 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 instantly. Instantly. So reduce attention span. If a child is exposed to screen time excessively, that child will struggle with attention span. That child will struggle with focusing. Then lower frustration tolerance. Game provide instant reward. As soon as you finish playing game, if you win, you get your reward. Like the game I talked about, the Zuma Revenge. Yes, Zuma Revenge. As you are finishing one level, immediately you are getting your reward. As if you can use that reward for anything. Of course you, even if you are giving dollars because you won a game, you can't even use it to buy anything. So games provide instant rewards, but real life requires patience. 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 So when children are exposed to excessive screen time, they may struggle when life doesn't move as at digital speed. They may struggle when they expect life to give to them the way screen, what the screen will give to them, the instant reward. They may feel frustrated. They may struggle with it. They may struggle with it. Then the third thing is reduce creativity. This one is, in fact, is the most thing that worries me. Creativity is dying. In those days when we were growing, we will cook, we will set up firewood, we will cook leaves, we will build house with stones, with sticks, with sand. I remember there is one what do they call it? There is one, is it stroke? How do I call it? It has foam. It's gotten from a plant, a dried tree, just tiny, like a size of a finger. You peel it, there's something like foam inside. We will remove it, we will peel it, we will use it to construct, to build cars, to do a lot of things. All these things are no longer happening. Instead of releasing our children to go out, to go and play with sand, to build houses, to do things, we just keep them in front of screen, and creativity is reducing. Our children cannot think, they cannot create. Children build great games. We imagine adventures, invented stories. We will tell stories, even though some of them may be lies, but we cook up something. We created something that time, which is no longer happening. But today, as soon as boredom appears, we just quickly rush to solve it, as if boredom is emergency. Boredom is not emergency. It is not. As soon as our children say, I'm bored. Oh yeah, go on the TV. Oh yeah, go and take laptop. Oh yeah, go and do this. Go and do that. No, boredom is not emergency. It is often a birthplace for creativity. When our children say, "Mommy, I'm bored," hey, I will tell them, boredom is a gift. Use it. But I think 2 or 3 days ago, our daughter said, "Mommy, I'm just feeling bored." I say, "Wow, you have a beautiful gift." He said, "No, no, 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 no. I can't use this kind of gifts." And we joked about it. And of the truth, boredom. It's a gift. Sometimes when they are feeling bored and they tell me, and I say, just do something, just create something, go and find something to do. Sometimes they create something meaningful, something meaningful. Sometimes they just get cartons. I normally keep cartons at home for them. They get that cartons, cut it, and build something, build houses, color, and all of that. Reduce creativity. Excessive screen time lead to reduced creativity. Then less family connection. This is another thing, another less connection time when everybody can even be in the same room but in different world. One is on Facebook, one is on Twitter, one is on Thread, one is on YouTube. You are together but you are in separate world. Eye contact decreases. Hmm? Family memories reduces and relationship weakens. No relationship. No relationship. Hmm. Poor sleep. You see the blue light that comes out of screen, it delays melatonin release. Yes. So late night screen use often means poor sleep quality. So if you are complaining that your child is not sleeping well, or your child will always complain that I'm tired, when he or she wakes up, watch your screen exposure. Watch how that child is being exposed to screen. That's why any time from 5 p.m., on rare cases, except we are watching maybe our monthly Holy Ghost service, or maybe they have training, and most times their training is in the afternoon. Maybe they have online classes. Their classes are usually in the afternoon. Aside that, anytime from 5, or maybe once in a while when we're having family movie nights. Aside that, anything from 5 p.m., no screen. No, 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 no. Because it leads to poor sleep quality. And remember something, children are growing, and as they are sleeping, that is when their brain is developing more. That's that's how they develop healthy, brain development. So you need to watch this because poor sleep affects learning, it affects emotional regulation, it affects behavior, it even affects concentration. Children who aren't getting enough sleep, we find it difficult to concentrate. All right. So, what are the signs of unhealthy screen dependence? Unhealthy screen dependence. I listed a number of questions here that I would like you to answer to yourself, not to me. Then you will know whether your child is depending on screen in an unhealthy way or not. Does your child become angry when screens are removed? Maybe your child is watching TV and you switch off the TV, or your child is watching cartoon on laptop, on phone, and as soon as you take it off, your child becomes angry. Does that happen? That's the first question. Does your child constantly ask for devices? Oh, give me phone. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need that. Does your child lose interest in toys? Does the child prefer screen over friends? Instead of playing with friend, relating with friend, does the child prefer to relate with screen? Does the child sneak devices? Some children, you keep your phone, they have picked it, sneaked it into the room. Does that happen in your home? Does your child watch skills secretly? That's why I say this. Some of us, some of the things we call good life, sometimes they are detrimental to our children's development. Some of us, because we are rich, we have money, we have a 7-year-old child, a 9-year-old child, preteen, having personal room, and we fix television. We think, happy now, we have money now. You put television in your child's room to do what exactly? To do what exactly? Part of our family digital master plan. No TV in any room. In fact, the one in our room, we gave it out. Yes, we do have a TV in our bedroom. Sometimes 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, sometimes 6 months. I won't even turn it on. To do what exactly? To do what? Where is that time? So this TV is just lying here. If there is someone who need it, we gave it out. So nobody, no child is having TV in the room until you are above 18. And nobody is keeping laptop in the bedroom. That's not allowed. Okay, let me continue with that question. Does your child watch screen secretly? Does your child ignore conversations because of screen? Does your child struggle to stop using screen? Does your child think about screen constantly? Does your child become restless without screen? If most of your responses are yes, 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 don't panic. Like I said, this session is not to create fear, it's just to educate you so that you will know how to take, informed decisions. Do not panic. Your child is probably developing unhealthy screen habits. Yes, your child is developing unhealthy screen habits. But the good news, I have a good news. Hmm? Habits can be changed. If you are intentional, you can change it. Now, I want to quickly teach you age appropriate screen limits. You might need to watch this session again, this particular video again, so that you get this part. So, age appropriate screen limits. Every family differs. Family dynamics, family goals, family vision, family core values, and all of these will influence how you use screen in your home. For instance, if your family vision is to raise tech guru, you might need to expose your child more to screen compared to a family whose family vision is to raise professor. So, every family differs. The goal is intentional use rather than unlimited access. The goal is intentional use. Even if you need to expose your child to screen, the goal is to make it intentional. I've read from someone, there's someone I know who is a digital person. She's a digital person. And she said she planned to expose her child to screen from age 2 because by age 7, that things he expected that his child should be able to do digitally. So that is his own family vision, and it's okay. And I also know someone, I don't want to mention the person's name, it's someone you could know, who is a heavy screen user, is on social media, is working on social media, and he said that he's not planning to in fact, at a point when his son was over a year going to 2 years, he said he has never exposed that child to screen, and he's not even planning to expose the child to screen in the next 2 3 years. That is another family vision, and that's okay. So the goal is not just to eradicate or to push technology or screen away. The goal is intentional use than unlimited access. So if you have children from age 0 to 2 years, I recommend that you avoid personal entertainment on screen as much as possible. Prioritize real life interaction, prioritize play, prioritize conversation. Let your child, you have a child from age 0 to age 2, let that child relate physically. Avoid entertainment on screen, watching Cocomelon, watching a cartoon, watching what, all of those on screen. Please avoid it from age 0 to 2. Let your child relate with real life interaction, play, conversation. If you have sand, Hmm? Get that child to play with sand. Even our 9-year-old daughter still play with sand. There was a time, there was a time we had sand in our compound, in our house. We had sand when the ground was not um cemented. So we have sand. They play with sand. We have heap of sand. And when we did the flooring on the compound, I got sand. I intentionally brought sand into the house, into the compound, so that they can get something to play with instead of sitting on screen. Do you know one thing? Do you know one thing? When children are watching screen, they're actually not thinking. Yes, they are consuming. They are actually not thinking. But take them away from screen. Let them play with sand. Let them play with paper. Let them play with, creative items. They are thinking. That's where they build critical thinking skill, problem solving skills, resilience. What else? You know, that is how they develop those skills, and these are life skills. So from age 0 to 2, I recommend no screen, especially for entertainment. From age 2 to 5, about 1 hour per day of high quality supervised content. Quality 1 hour from age 2 to 5. Then 6 to 12, set consistent daily limits. Balancing schoolwork, sleep, outdoor play, reading, chores, and family time. In our home, we don't even watch TV. We don't, it's only once a week they are exposed to screen. Once a week. Most times, now that I'm live, they are having their screen time. Mm. You need to set consistent limits. And if you have teenagers, you should shift from screen time limits alone to teaching what? Self-management, digital responsibility, and healthy habits. And healthy habits. All right. So I want to give you these 4 questions before giving your chat screen. This question. And this is part of the questions we use in our family digital master plan. The first question is, the purpose for using this screen, is it educational? Is it age appropriate? Is it time limited? Is it supervised? Let me take it again. Is it for educational purpose? Is it educational? Is it age appropriate? Is it time limited? Is it supervised? If not, if you can't answer any of these questions, please reconsider giving your child that screen. Now, replacing screens with meaningful activities. I need to rush now. I've spent lots of time. Okay, replacing screens with meaningful activities. Parents often remove screen, and usually that's where problem happens. That's where resentment builds up. You just take away screen. A child who has been exposed to watching screen for maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, you just say, because they said we should take away screen for our children, you just take away screen and you replace screen with nothing. It's not going to work. That will create frustration. It will create resentment. Don't only subtract, add. Replace screen with something, because if not, it will not even work at all. Now, I want to teach you to build an activity menu. Activity menu. I'm going to give you lists of things that you can do instead of that your child can do instead of having excessive screen time. Next week, I'm going to talk about fun activities that you can have with your children without spending much. Please don't miss next week. Next week is going to be another wonderful session. So you can have indoor activities, building activity menu. You have indoor activities. What are the activities? Reading, art, building blocks, cooking, music, board games, puzzles, origami, science experiments, Bibles, family Bible study, journaling, and all of that. One of the things we are doing this holiday for our children is exposing them to new recipes of cooking. Since yesterday, I and my daughter we have been in the kitchen cooking, 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 cooking. They didn't even have time for screen. We are just engaged. Hmm? That's indoor activities. Let me run through it again so that if you miss any, you can, pick it back. Indoor activity, reading, arts, building blocks, cooking, music, board games, puzzles, origami, science experiments, family Bible study, journaling. Then for outdoor, cycling, bicycling, football, skipping rope, nature walks, gardening. We used to have garden. Hmm. I miss my garden. And during holidays, especially this raining period, our children will plant. We will do garden. We'll go to garden together. We will hold together. We will harvest our vegetables together. I love to plant. I love to have my vegetables fresh from the farm. Fresh from. So gardening is one of the things, one of the outdoor activities that you can expose your children to. Gardening teaches life skills, patience, hard work, resilience, responsibility. Yes. Treasure hunts, water play, obstacle courses, photography walks, community services. Then social. Mm. You can have grandparent visits, neighborhood games, cousin days, library trips, volunteer activities, church activities. Then creative, we have story writing, drama, singing, crafts, modeling, model building, drawing, inventing games, and all of that. Now, here is a rule that I want to give you. Don't ask your child, what do you want to do? The child may be confused, especially if you have exposed your children to screen excessively. Nothing of all this may interest them. Hmm? Nothing. But if you have built a system around screen exposure, you may not have problem, asking your children to choose. Of course, if we ask our children to choose, they will just say, mommy this, mommy that, daddy this, that, because we have been able to put control on screen usage in our home to some extent. But if not, don't ask them what you want to do. Just tell them to choose one. Give them a list and ask them to choose one. Now, I said that I'm going to teach you how to, create family your family um digital master plan, or create a family digital contract. So let me quickly run you through how to create that. The first section you have are your family values, our family values. So your family values could be: technology exists to help us learn, help us connect, help us create, help us serve, and it will never replace our relationship. This is just a guide. You can use this to formulate yours. And if this works well for you, you can go ahead and use it like that. Then the second session will be our screen rules. You all agree. Please don't just come up with this and just give it to your children. We are not using screen again. We have set up our family digital contract. Oh yeah, take your own. No. When we were building our own family digital master plan, even our baby was present. We agreed on the consequence together. We agreed on the rules together. They are aware. So carry your children along. Don't in fact, some of the consequence, they came up with it by themselves. So when they set out of the boundary, when they get out of the boundary, they know what to expect. Hmm? So our screen rules: you should have your daily screen time, weekend screen time, if that's how you want to run yours. For us, For now, excuse me, for now is weekend screen time. Is it before homework or after homework? Of course, it should be after homework. So, homework before screen, yes or no, you agree. Screen during meals, you agree. Yes or no, you all agree. Screen before bed, yes or no. Of course, all of these are no, you agree. Screens in the bedroom, yes or no, you agree. All right. Then the next session should be our responsibility. What is your responsibility as a member of the family? The parents will model healthy screen habits. You don't tell your children to do something, to do away with screen, and you are always on the screen. Your child is even talking to you, you are on screen. Okay, well, go and do it. No, 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 no. Part of our family digital uh, contract is that we don't use screen during meals. And by chance, if maybe there is something I need to respond to urgently, or my husband, as soon as we are picking the phone, the children are saying no screen time during time, no screen during meal time, no screen, because we have been able to carry them along. So as parents, you also need to model healthy screen habits. You keep promise, that's for your responsibility as parent. Keep promises, explain rules respectfully. Because you are the parent doesn't mean you should uh, um, explain rules irresponsibly. No, respect your children. Then spend quality time with your children. You see, when parents complain to me that my child always been on screen, my child always, there's one thing, and that has been proven over and over again. There's no connection. Hmm. If you find time to connect with your children, honestly, children want to be connected with their parent. But when you are always busy, you go to work from morning to night, you come back, you're on phone, and you after phone, you are on call for 30, 40 minutes. After that, you are in your bedroom with your laptop and all of that. And there's no connection time, no bonding time between you and your children. Of course, your children need to be engaged. They will look for something that will engage them. And trust me, screen is always there to welcome them. So that is your responsibility as a parent. So for the children, ask permission, seek for permission. That's responsibility. Stop when the time finishes. When we agree on a particular time, maybe you're having your screen time for 2 hours, for 1 hour. When the time comes, stop. This is what we do in our house. They have I think 2 hours weekly for their screen. And when it is time, it is 2 hours, and they refuse to put the phone down. If they spend 30 minutes extra, of course, they have spent 30 minutes from next week. So if you like, you can spend your 3 weeks screen time, and we have followed that religiously, and they know. Once we say screen time is off, they drop their screen. Whatever thing they are doing, they drop it. Except uh, our toddler who is still learning to to follow instruction. So responsibility for the children will ask for permission, stop when time finishes, tell parents if something online makes them uncomfortable. Then they will use technology respectfully. Then consequence. There should be a session for consequence. In my language, as Yoruba, they would say, ìlú tí kò sí òfin, ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ò sí ńbẹ̀. That means where there is no uh, where there is no rule, there's no punishment. And once there is rule, when you break that rule, you should face the consequence. So if the agreements are broken, what happens? You both agree. Hmm? You both should agree on the consequence. Then reward. If agreements are followed consistently, there should be a reward. Yes. It could be extra screen time. It could be a hug. It could be high five. Something simple, something just to to encourage the children, to encourage everyone to do the right thing, to follow the family digital contract. Then you sign. The children will sign, you, the parent, you will sign. Let me quickly, I'm 5 minutes late, but let me quickly teach this session. This is very, very important. I do not want you to leave this session without learning, and I call it the 20-20-20 rule. The 20-20-20 rule. This rule was developed originally to reduce digital eye strain. I remember when I was having eye problem, when I was having eye pain and all of that, and I went to see the ophthalmologist. One of the things she said, and that's what I'm teaching now. She said I need to, that's the problem I'm having with my sight. I actually had good sight, but I'm stressing my sight, and that's why I keep having pain. And she told me about this rule, 20 minutes rule, that every 20 minutes I spend on screen, I should take my face away from the screen for another 20 seconds. And that's what I'm teaching. So that's why I said that this rule was actually developed to reduce digital eye strain. And this rule is also excellent. It's an excellent reminder to break prolonged screen use. So every 20 minutes of screen time, every 20 minutes, look at something that is 20 feet far away. After you have been watching screen, maybe laptop or TV for 20 minutes, after that 20 minutes, look at something that is 20 feet far away for 20 seconds. For 20 seconds. So after each session, let me say it again. After each session, for children may not be able to, follow this, but you can guide your children around this. After every 20-minute session, your children stretch, drink water, get up, walk around. Even sometimes I do that. I just get up from my chair, stretch my body, drink water, just take myself away from screen. Sometimes I just stay there and I close my eyes. Sometimes I blink intentionally. You can also introduce all of this to your children. Rest the eyes before returning to the screen if this is necessary. This is to help reduce eye fatigue and encourage healthier screen habits. All right. Thank you all for joining me. Again, this is me, Ayolua Adedeji, the founder and the lead consultant at the Model Family Focus. At the Model Family Focus, what we do is that we equip parents with skills and tools they need to raise well-rounded children, to raise emotionally balanced children, to raise children who will become what God actually wanted them to become. And we have the digital master plan guide. In case you don't know how to set up your contract or your digital master plan, we have done that for you. You can go to our online store. The link is in the description section where you can get the family digital master plan guide. The family digital master plan guide, it will guide you on how to set your own family digital master plan and your family contract. Thank you all for joining me. Don't forget, every Saturday by 7 p.m. we are here talking about parenting. Because when we get parenting right, we'll get almost everything right. And let me whisper to you, something big is about to happen. As we are rounding up our holiday blueprint series, something big is happening. And guess what? It's going to be free. There's a 3-day free masterclass that is coming up in August, first week in August. I'll give you details about that before then. So when the registration is open, I do really want to encourage you to be part of this. Why children don't listen. In 3 practical sessions, I will keep you with skills that you need to get your children to listen. I will equip you with skills that you need to stop shouting. to stop shouting. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, keep parenting with intention.